Hello students, in today's lecture we will discuss Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. This is a very important topic for all engineering colleges and a very detailed derivation of the intensity due to single slit in Fraunhofer diffraction case has been asked many times. First, let us understand the diagram. Now, this is the Fraunhofer class of diffraction. So, we can see lenses are there, distances have been taken into account, and what are we going to do? First, we will take a source of light which is monochromatic. This is falling on a lens which is focusing all this light which is falling on it. Then it is going to make it drop perpendicularly on the slit. AB is the slit. Be very careful when drawing this diagram that the rays which you will make them interfere so that diffraction pattern gets formed on the screen should be emitting from the end points of the slit, because this AB distance is a slit width small a, and light has got diffracted from these points. As I told you in my previous lecture that diffraction is bending of light around apertures and obstacles. So now from these 2 points, this slit, the light has bended, and now we have this focusing lens which will focus these rays of light so that we get a diffraction pattern consisting of bright and dark fringes on the screen. The central point will be having maximum intensity followed by secondary maxima and minima. The transmitted beam spreads out perpendicularly to the length of this slit. When focused on the screen, a diffraction pattern of dark and bright fringes of decreasing intensity get formed across the central point. And at point C, the intensity is maximum. Now, for resultant point at P, where all the rays which are getting diffracted at a certain angle theta are getting focused, at that point for the resultant at point P, we drop a perpendicular AG on BE. Using the formula of sine theta, we find that this path difference BG is equal to AB into sine theta. AB is slit width A into sine theta. So the path difference BG is A sine theta, where A is slit width, and phase difference is 2 pi by lambda into path difference, which is A sine theta. So the path difference between the rays originating from AB are varying from 0 to A sine theta. Now what are we going to do? We will find out an expression for the intensity. So in order to find an expression for intensity, we will use the formula of intensity due to resultant of n number of waves in simple harmonic progression and following the AP series, which we explained in the previous lecture, and then derive an expression for intensity. So the phase difference between the waves from any two successive parts of the slit AB will be 1 upon n into 2 pi by lambda A sine theta is equal to del. Now, from the theory of composition of n simple harmonic waves of equal amplitude A, common phase difference between successive vibrations, the resultant amplitude is given by R is equal to A sine, we have done this in the previous lecture, N del upon 2 divided by sine del by 2. What is this? This is the resultant of these n number of waves which have got diffracted from this aperture. The resultant has been taken as resolving it first into horizontal then vertical components, right? So now we will put this value of path difference from here in this expression. So this becomes A sine pi A sine theta upon lambda divided by sine pi A sine theta upon n lambda. What have we done? We have just put this value of del here. This n got cancelled and here we are retained with the n. So let alpha is equal to pi A sine theta upon lambda. So when we will put this value of alpha here, the expression becomes R is equal to A sine alpha divided by sine alpha by n. Now n is very large, so we can assume sine alpha upon n tending to alpha upon n. So this expression becomes R is equal to NA sine alpha upon alpha, where NA can be written as capital A. So it is A sine alpha upon alpha. Complete detail of this has been discussed in the previous lecture. Now the intensity is square of amplitude. So the intensity, which is square of amplitude proportional to square of amplitude, the intensity expression becomes I is equal to R square, which is equal to A square sine alpha upon alpha square. Now we will differentiate this expression to find out the maxima and minima for diffraction pattern. So intensity distribution due to Fraunhofer diffraction of a single slit. Now what are we going to do? We will find out maxima and minima. This previous lecture, a bit of repetition I did. Now let us quickly find out the intensity due to single slit for maxima and minima. So the positions of maxima and minima. For that, I is equal to A square sine alpha upon alpha square, right? Now the resultant amplitude R was given by A upon alpha into sine alpha. We will write down the series of sine here. So A upon alpha into, what are the sine series? Alpha minus alpha cube by 3 factorial plus alpha to the power of 5 by 5 factorial minus alpha to the power of 7 by 7 factorial and so on. Here up and down, alpha comes out common, so this will get cancelled and you are left with A into 1 because this alpha and this alpha got cancelled minus this alpha got cancelled, alpha square upon 3 factorial plus alpha to the power of 4 upon 5 factorial minus alpha to the power of 6 upon 7 factorial and so on. Right? Now notice R, the resultant is going to be maximum. R will be maximum when the negative terms will vanish. When the negative terms are going to vanish, then R will be maximum. So this is possible only when alpha is equal to pi upon lambda into a sine theta is equal to 0, because the negative terms have to all vanish for R to be maximum. This is possible when theta is 0, because sine 0 is 0. So the maximum value of resultant amplitude R at C is capital A, the amplitude, and the corresponding maximum intensity is A square. So maximum intensity is square of amplitude. Now what about the minima? How do we find the minima? So the position of minima, how do we get minima here? We know that intensity is given by I is equal to A square sine alpha upon alpha whole square. Right? Now intensity is minimum when sine alpha is equal to 0 and alpha is not 0. That is, what are the values of alpha? Plus minus pi, plus minus 2 pi, plus minus 3 pi, and so on. Right? Till n pi, plus minus n pi. Right? So alpha becomes equal to plus minus n pi. Here n is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So alpha becomes equal to pi a sine theta upon lambda is equal to plus minus n pi. So a sine theta, this pi and this pi gets cancelled and you are left with a sine theta is equal to plus minus n lambda, where n is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this is giving us the direction of first, second and third minima and all, the direction of the minima. Now the secondary maxima, because the diffraction pattern consists of a central maxima n equal to 0 followed by secondary maxima and minima of decreasing intensity on either side. So now we are going to find out where, at what points these secondary maxima occur. So in addition to principal maxima, we also get secondary maxima and minima in diffraction pattern. Intensity due to diffraction pattern, we get secondary also. Now how to find the secondary maxima? This is a new thing, you are listening for the first time. Secondary maxima. In addition to principal maxima, there are less intense secondary maxima. Now in order to locate the position of secondary maxima, we will be applying mathematics and differentiation. See, intensity formula is a square sine alpha upon alpha whole square. We know that differentiating and equating to 0 gives us values of maxima minima. So we will differentiate this expression with respect to alpha. D by d alpha of a square sine square alpha upon alpha square. Right? And we know the formula that d by dx of numerator upon denominator is equal to denominator into d by dx of numerator minus numerator into d by dx of denominator divided by denominator square. So we will use this formula here and we get a square d by dx of this gives us alpha, gives us 2 sine alpha upon alpha into this is sine, so d by dx of this cos alpha minus sine alpha upon alpha is equal to 0. We took 2 sine alpha upon alpha common. Now product of two components equal to 0 in mathematics says that either this value is 0 or this value is 0. So that means this value makes no significance if we say this is 0. So what are we going to do? We will say this value alpha cos alpha minus sine alpha equal to 0. So this is alpha square. So this is equal to 0. So this becomes alpha is equal to sine alpha upon cos alpha is equal to tan alpha. And since sine alpha is giving us the position of minima only when alpha is 0, position of secondary maxima are given by alpha equal to tan alpha. Wherever these points come graphically, they are the points which are giving us the position of secondary maxima. So what will we do? We will plot a curve where y is equal to alpha and y is equal to tan alpha. At whatever points these two coincide, those points will be giving us the position of secondary maxima. So let us begin. See, y equal to alpha will be a straight line passing through the origin, and y equal to tan alpha will be a plot consisting of the tan. So this is going to be a straight line passing through origin. Straight line passing through origin, and this is going to represent the dimensions of your tangent curve. Then the point of intersection of these two lines will give us the position of secondary maxima and minima. So let us plot it quickly and let us see how the graph comes out as. We are going to plot, what are we plotting? We are plotting y equal to alpha and y equal to tan alpha. So if we plot this, it comes out as y origin alpha, right? Now y equal to alpha will be this straight line, y equal to alpha, and for tan we will take up the tangent curve, right? So it becomes y is equal to tan alpha. Here y is equal to tan alpha, y is equal to tan alpha. Now wherever this straight line is cutting this graph, those points will give us the points of the secondary maxima. Pi by 2, this is pi this is the straight line which is passing through the origin. So this is pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, etc. So wherever this cuts, that means alpha is 3 pi by 2, the odd series 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, etc. These points are giving us the direction of the secondary maxima. So the secondary maxima, this is also used in numericals, this point. Secondary maxima is given by alpha is equal to plus minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2, where n is 1, 2, 3 and so on. This gives us the position of secondary maxima. And what had we assumed alpha as in the beginning? Alpha was assumed as pi by lambda a sine theta. So this has been equated to plus minus 2n plus 1 divided by 2 into lambda. So what happens? Pi and pi get cancelled. 2n plus 1 pi, 2n plus 1 pi. So pi and pi get cancelled and we are left with a sine theta is plus minus 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. This is giving us the position of secondary maxima. Here, now in this expression, when we are going to put alpha as 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2 and all like this, the odd series, we will get the value or the intensity series. So let us begin. We will first begin with position of central maxima. That is, let us begin with the principal maxima. Here maximum light is concentrated in the diffraction pattern. That is the central maxima. Alpha is equal to 0. So I is equal to maximum intensity I naught. Second, let us take alpha equal to 3 pi by 2. So what is the intensity coming out as? A square sine 3 pi by 2 whole square upon 3 pi by 2. We will solve. This becomes 4 by 9 pi square into a square, or it can also be written as a square upon 22 or I naught upon 22. Third, alpha equal to 5 pi by 2. When it is 5 pi by 2, it becomes, for the 5 pi by 2, it is 4 upon 25 pi square. That means I2 is a square sine 5 pi by 2 whole square upon 5 pi by 2 square is equal to 4 upon 25 pi square a square, which is equal to I naught upon 62. This way you can continue with the series here and you get the intensity as 4 by 9 pi square, 4 by 25 pi square and like this, right? So what is this intensity series showing? This expression is very important. The intensity of the secondary maxima, that the diffraction pattern consists of a central maxima followed by secondary maxima and minima, and maximum light is concentrated in the central maxima, and the intensity of the secondary maxima and minima decreases very fast. Thank you.